Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Yahweh Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is Matazah Lacham. I was going over this video, and this individual, Steve Ben Nunn, over to the side, said some very informative information I really think y'all need to hear. Because this motherfucker here, man, okay, those people over there are imposters. They know that they are the imposters. What they're trying to do now is they're trying to basically make a man an offender for a word. So they're going, Benjamin Netanyahu is going through, or what you call B.B. Makowalski, since he, C.K., Captain Kirk, right, of the Starship Turning Point, okay, had refused to go out there and become an official bootlicker for AIPAC, the Israeli lobbyists that control the United States government. Okay, control Donald Trump like a fucking puppet. So, this video is concerning what they're trying to do by going in and basically doing everything they can to cover up. I don't think this video is going to cover the cover up of the Epstein files, but it's covering up or basically making known, is what I meant to say, revealing the wickedness of these Edomite Caucasian devils over there, claiming to be the JOOs, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. They're the only people on earth that attend synagogues. Without further ado, let's hear what this man's got to say. All right.
Good afternoon, friends. Steve Benoon here with Israeli News Live here. And listen, America is just not a sovereign nation any longer. And I think if you begin to really seriously look at the events that are happening around the world, you'll realize our sovereignty has been compromised. Everything from the case with Charlie Kirk and his assassination there to Israel bombing Qatar now, unprovoked, just to target Hamas leaders there, the genocide of Gaza, and then, of course, now, even in the West Bank, all the Palestinian men in this one particular community have been rounded up and taken captive by the Israeli military. And the world is doing nothing about it whatsoever. The U.S. is only complicit. We're the one nation that continues to push this narrative. It doesn't seem to ever change. And I think if you really begin to look at some of the factual information surrounding all of this, it'll start really coming more to light of exactly what is really going on. I'm reminded by an interview that was given many years ago by a man. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Ralph Friedman. Friedman was his name, and he spoke about that Israel, using the United States, would actually end up ousting all the Palestinians from their homeland illegally. And of course, Friedman was a Jewish man. And he talked about this. He talked about how that Israel was going to do this. And I'm going to actually get his name for you. I'm trying to pull that up real quick here from the history there where I was watching this or listening to this yesterday. It's worth listening to. It's disturbing, though. It's very disturbing to think of that, that we're being so duped down. And Benjamin Friedman, it was his name. And you should look up that interview that he did years ago, because he's spot on to the dot, going to World War I, World War II. And he said World War III would be preceded by Israel totally ousting everyone from the Middle East there. They would throw all the Palestinians out of their homeland, and how that they were Khazarian Empire that it came in there to take over. And from the Middle East there, they would throw all the Palestinians out of their homeland, and how that they were Khazarian Empire that it came in there to take over. From the Middle East there, they would throw all the Palestinians out of their homeland, and how that they were a Khazarian empire that it came in there to take over. And it's very...
Okay. Now, you heard 3 times that one of these ish whistleblowers said that they were part of the Khazarian Empire. Now, if you go back and do, well, you probably can't, but trust me, the Ukraine, home of the Caucasus Mountains, why these Edomite Caucasians call themselves Caucasians, okay, the Ukraine, the entire area of Ukraine is Khazaria, right? King Bulan of Khazaria was surrounded by the Muslims, by the evangelical Christian church, okay, and other and Buddhism, okay, and he was forced, king of the Edomites, he was forced to have to make a decision on which belief system he was going to go with, because they were all coming in to take over, and he chose Judaism completely, entirely, and forced all of his people, okay, these Edomite Caucasians, the Amalekite Khazars, they call themselves the JOOs and are not, because you just heard him, they are part of the Khazarian Empire. They are not God's chosen people, okay? They're just not, okay? And they're trying to cover this up because they're being revealed at every turn, okay? Let's go to Jeremiah 49, okay? Verse 10. I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. Right? And that's what these devils are trying to do. They're trying to hide themselves. They're trying to, everything that individuals uncover about the wickedness of who these people are, telling the entire world a lie, a deliberate fallacy. Right? They've got the entire world enchanted by their God's chosen people. Okay? All right, bullshit. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. This is one of his secret places that have been uncovered by the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and his Holy Spirit. Okay? And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Okay? See? Let's see. Let's go over here to Isaiah chapter 29. Verse 14, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work amongst this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. That's exactly what the Most High is doing, man. Okay? The wisdom of the wise will pass away, and the intelligence of the intelligent will disappear. Okay? I mean, that's true in Captain Kirk's of the Starship Turning Point's unfortunate demise. Okay, how it's being uncovered that that it was, fake. It may have been real. That the individual that actually took the shot was standing right beside him with his hand underneath his arm. Okay, and blasted the man in the neck. Okay, the blast hole was from the front of the neck, so that means that the entrance had to be from the back. So somebody from behind him of Captain Kirk as the one that delivered the fatal blow. Okay, all because, as Candace Owens has already said, that Captain Kirk just didn't want to go and become a bootlicker for AIPAC and for the Israeli lobbyists. Okay, he was one to continue to be an outspoken talk person. Okay, whatever. Okay, and he invited Tucker Carlson. Right? Nobody wants to deal with Tucker Carlson because they know he's an immediate whistleblower. Okay, but all these devils they all work for the same side, left side, right side. It doesn't matter. Isaiah 29:15, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, or who knoweth us? Right? What sorrow awaits those who try to hide their plans from the Lord, who do their evil deeds in the dark. The Lord can't see us. They say he doesn't know what's going on. How foolish can you be, right? That's what these devils are doing, man. Right? Isaiah chapter 29, verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Okay? Now, let's go over here and see if I can go back and get my watch history. Okay? Check this out.
Contracts. If you're young and you want to make...
I got this off of the brother at Arrows of Indignation. I seen it yesterday.
A massive defense budget that would bar company invaded boycotts of Israel. Quote, in a last couple days.
I went too far. Salakia. Okay? I wasn't trying to make this video no more than 20 minutes. I got to try to learn to get these videos down. It's...
You want to know what they were trying to distract us from in the last couple days? Well, it's this, right here. The House of Representatives just passed a bill punishing, quote, politically motivated boycotts of Israel. Quote, in a first step towards a federal law punishing criticism of Israel, the House of Representatives on Wednesday, that was 9/11, mind you, passed a massive defense budget that would bar companies engaged in politically motivated boycotts of the country from Pentagon contracts. The bill would effectively ban contractors boycotting Israel from tapping most federal contract dollars, since more than half of the $755 billion in the U.S. government spent on contracts last year flowed through the Defense Department. Right, so in more plain English, the U.S. Congress is trying to make it so that in order for American weapons manufacturers to supply weapons to the U.S. military, they must also supply weapons to Israel by law. What the is that all about?
So here's some crazy news that you may have missed. The House passed a controversial amendment that punishes businesses if they boycott Israel. It was added to the defense budget by a Republican, Lauren Boebert, and it may mean that a company or nonprofit engaging in what she calls a politically motivated boycott will be barred from most Pentagon contracts. Now, guys, this is crazy because the move directly targets the BDS movement, which stands for boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Supporters of the amendment argue that American taxpayer dollars should never go to companies that protest Israel. But critics, including the ACLU, warn that this is an attack on free speech. They point out that boycotts have been recognized by courts as a form of political expression, protected under the First Amendment. Legal challenges are almost certain. Federal courts have struck down similar state laws in Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, saying the government can't force people or companies to give up their political beliefs or to do business. The Senate's version of the defense bill does not include this language, so this will be a major flashpoint when both chambers try to agree on a final bill.
Are U.S. companies forced to support and back Israel?
Okay. That's all I wanted to get out of that information. That was it. I didn't want to do nothing else. Okay. But like I said before, man, okay, these people are not the chosen people of the Most High. Let's go to Job chapter 15, verse 6, I think it is. Right? Right? Okay. Let's see. Job chapter 15, verse 4. Yep, thou castest off fear and restrainest prayer before the Most High. For thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yep, thine own lips testify against thee. Okay? See what I'm saying? And that's what these devils are doing, man. They're just the wicked. Let me go over here to Psalms chapter 10, verse 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And what I mean by the persecution of the poor is they've started to terminate people's employment for being online content creators, criticizing the unaliving of Captain Kirk of the Starship Turning Point. Okay? and and they're terminating people's employment. The Anti-Defamation League and the Southern Poverty Law Center, which are Israeli lobbying type of institutions, because they're all about Israel. Okay, those Israeli Amalekite converts over there that are calling themselves Jews and are not. Okay. Psalms chapter 10, verse 3. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, who are the wicked? Agent Orange, the United States government, right? Boasteth of his heart's desire, is to help Israel cover up this wickedness that they're trying to push. Saying that it's going to be lawful for the United States government, if they get weapons from weapons manufacturers, you got to give weapons to these assholes at the same time to kill people that can't fight back? Real? And blesseth the covetous, who are the covetous? These Amalekite Khazars, right? Whom the Lord abhorreth. And the Most High hates these people, right? Like it says in Malachi chapter 1, verse 3. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. But I rejected his brother Esau, and devastated his hill country. I turned Esau's inheritance into a desert for jackals. Okay? Okay. The Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, the creator of the heavens, the earth, the sea, all that is therein in the foundations of water, hates Esau. Sorry, people, evangelical Christians, white Christian nationalists, I'm so sorry. Okay? The Most High God hates Esau. And Esau is the grandfather of Amalek. Amalek is the progenitor of the Edomite Caucasians, calling themselves Jews and are not right now. Okay, they come from the land of Khazaria, aka the Ukraine, home of the Caucasus Mountains. Go do a land check or Google Earth. Doesn't matter, right? Let's see. Let's go over here to Job chapter 13, verse 4. Right? But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. They're liars, man. Job chapter 58 and 3. No, it's Psalms 58 and 3. Sorry, Salakia. Okay. Verse 2. Psalms 58 and 2. Yep, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. And then they want to get you for criticism of what they're doing to the Palestinians. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit about the Palestinians. I don't give a shit two fucks about the Amalekite Khazars. Either one of them. Because the land that they're inhabiting is our land. The land of the Hebrew Israelites. Who have been scattered and sold and cast lots for in slavery. Okay? For over 275 years, and the other part have been hung from trees, raped, murdered, mutilated, right? Like it says in Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Okay? And this is the reason why it happened. Daniel 9, verse 9. To the Lord our God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. Yep, all Israel have transgressed thy law by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse of Deuteronomy chapter 28, is poured upon us. And the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, Yahweh, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. And the great evil is in the form of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, the devil the Bible speaks of. Okay, and he brought this evil not only upon Jerusalem and Judah, right, but also on all of the inhabitants of the earth. They've been going from country to country, land to land, using their blessing of the sword to steal natural resources, claiming to be the indigenous people of these different continents in which they conquer. They set up a a U.S. consulate and a military base on every country in the fucking planet. That's the reason why it says in Revelation chapter 18, thou that sittest upon many waters. the whore that sitteth upon many waters, because there's a U.S. consulate and military base on every continent, everywhere. Shit, they just closed down the one in China and in Russia. Okay, come on, man. They were everywhere. Okay. He hath confirmed his words which he spake against us, and judged our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Right? As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us. Yet we made not our prayer before the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai our power, that we might turn from our iniquities and understand thy truth. So what happened is the Most High, in his gracious and abundant mercy, has sent again his servants, the prophets, rising us up early and sending us to our people. But to this day, our people still will not hear, and they will not listen to us when we're telling them to their face, this is what we need to do. Okay? It's to turn back to the Most High in heaven, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But they won't do it. Our people won't do it, man, because we sinned against the Most High. That's the reason why all this shit's been happening to us, man. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. If I can get to it. Now we heard earlier in the video, okay, that that these people that have us in derision and make proverbs of reproach about us, talk about us, okay, like Captain Kirk of the Starship Turning Point, right? Okay, these individuals are most proud. Okay, they are enemies to the Most High and his people, his inheritance, right? And so they want to make a man an offender for a word, okay, and make it illegal for us to criticize these devils. You see, a man by the name of Mort Steinschneider in 1860 created the word anti-Shemitic, right? Created that word anti-Shemitic without the H, okay? In 1860, in order to cast down individuals that criticize what's going on in Israel and what they do to the people in the surrounding areas. Okay? In 1860, in the same year in 1860, that's when these Amalekite Khazars started calling themselves Israelites in 1860. Before then, they were everybody else. Europeans, Scotland, Ireland, European, Russian, German, they were everybody except for who they are by biblical description, who are the Edomites. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. All that took them captives held them fast, they refused to let them go. Right today, they refuse to let us go. Okay? The people of Israel and Judah have been wronged. Their captors hold them and refuse to let them go. Okay? They're going to continue to do that. Okay? And who are these individuals? Let's go to Amos chapter 1, verse 11. Okay? Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, he did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. Some of those Palestinian people over there are Israelites, because our seed line has been scattered amongst all the heathen nations on the face of the earth, as punishment for not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, which we just read in Daniel chapter 9, verse 9 through 12. Okay? Because we would not keep his law, statutes, and commandments, which we swore under Mount Sinai, under the prophet Moses, and under the high priest Aaron, his brother, that we would do. And we have not done them to this day. That's the reason why we've been scattered. Okay? The diaspora. Okay? So these devils have cast off all pity. Do they have pity for the Palestinians? No. Do they not pursue the Palestinians with the sword? Yes. Do their anger tear perpetually? Benjamin Nothing Not a Jew gets on television newscasts and say, we're looking for Hamas. Now they're jumping on Qatar that's a sovereign nation that has nothing to do with Hamas. They're just jumping to fucking conclusions. You heard the man at the beginning of the video that they want to take over the whole area, the whole land. Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan, every goddamn stand over there, okay? Everybody. The Palestinian, all of that, okay? And claim all of that is greater Israel. That's what they're trying, that's the plan, okay? But the Most High has revealed their plans, right? And kept his wrath forever. Okay? They keep their wrath forever. They have continual, perpetual hatred for us. Like Captain Kirk, that's been talking shit out the side of his neck with pseudo-scientific, fraudulent statistics concerning so-called blacks and Latinos over whites. When if you all you had to do is go into the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, or Central Intelligence Agency website and database to find out concerning about race and ethnicity who commits the most crimes. Okay? And you're going to find Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is at the top of that fucking list for the most part. Okay? We're at the top on homicides. And the reason why is because through the Willie Lynch doctrine, they've turned us against our own brother. Light-skinned Negro versus dark-skinned Negro, red-colored wearing individuals versus blue-colored wearing individuals, women versus their husbands, children versus their fathers. Okay? And this is part of the curses that in Deuteronomy that Moses said that would happen to us if we did not keep his law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Right? Now, going back to Psalms chapter 10, right, verse 4. The wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High. The Most High Yahweh is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. And you can see that right now for what they're doing to the people over there. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And Agent Orange is puffing at India, China, and Russia, saying that they're conspiring against him, and as well as North Korea. These are all the different individual countries, okay, that are going to be a part of those individuals in Revelation chapter 17 that are going to destroy them, right? Right? Salakia. Revelation chapter 12, verse 17, verse 12. Salakia. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. That's the BRICS nations. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Right? These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb, who's the Lamb? Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? Shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. The called, chosen, and faithful of the Most High God, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the services of the Most High, and the promises of salvation. Okay? Like it says in Romans chapter 9, verse 4. Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. Right? And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate. And they're currently in the process of making Babylon the Great, America, desolate right now for food, water, medicine, okay, import and export. They've stopped dealing with America. Okay? That's how they're making her desolate. It's no longer the place of streets of gold and where you could get rich quick. Right? And naked. Okay? Gonna make them naked, like it says in the book of Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah chapter 51. Okay, the Most High is gonna make them naked and gonna cast off all their military to go fight in the war. And I can't remember which biblical scripture that is, but I'll try to find it for later next time. Okay? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh. Right? So that's gonna cause a famine, and burn her with fire. Okay? For the Most High had put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, BRICS nations, right, until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman that thou sawest is that great city, Babylon the Great, America. Route 66 goes from New York to California, straight through. It's all a giant city. You have towns, suburbs, cities from one end to the other. It's a giant city, okay, powered by a power grid, okay, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And right now, America's military is the military of these heathen nations, okay. But anyway, yeah, that's basically all I wanted to do, okay. I just wanted to let you know that they're gonna try to shut down, you know, us being able to say anything concerning. Yeah, that's all they're gonna do. They're just gonna shut it all down, bastards. Right? Let's go back over here to Job chapter 5, verse 19. Okay. Job chapter 5, verse 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yep, 7. There shall no evil touch thee. This is to the Israelites, those that have turned back to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in these last days. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, for thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. You see? So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has already got it, who he's going to save here in these last days. Right? Right? Let's go get, what was it? Ecclesiasticus chapter 9. Right? Verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. You see what I'm saying? So this is the Most High, basically telling us we need to be careful around these Edomite Caucasians because, they're pissed off at the so-called leftists, and they've lumped all blacks and Latinos, Native Americans, LGBTQ in with the leftist agenda. Okay? Now, before they were all against people calling into work and getting people terminated from their job. Now they're all for it. This country is filled with nothing but hypocrisy from one end to the other. Okay? Let's see. Agree with thine adversary, right? Matthew chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou shalt be cast into the prison. And verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing. Okay? So this is the Most High sending his only begotten Son to tell you this is what you need to do. Be careful around these Edomite devils. Pray every day. Pray without ceasing. Right? Because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. Right? Let's go to, let's see, what was it? Acts. Because it's bothering me. Let's go to the book of, I was there. Tripping. The book of Acts, chapter 18. No, that's not it. I'm tripping. Okay? I'm tripping. Okay. It was Acts, what was it? 14 and 22. 18. Where does that come from? Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, right? Then that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay? Let's get over here to Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Right? Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Like I said before at the beginning of the video, Isaiah 29:20, they should make a man an offender for a word. Okay, let's go get that. Okay, Isaiah 29:20. Boom. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorner is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off, that make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing of naught. Right? So these devils, they're going to do everything they can to shut off this truth, because they're hemorrhaging lies everywhere they move. Every move they make is suspect. Okay? Every last one. Right? So everybody is on to these Edomite Caucasians, sitting up there telling a goddamn lie. You know? I mean, that's all they do is lie. Okay? Behold, the days come from the Lord Yahweh, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And that's what this video is about. Those Amalekite Khazars that admitted to one of their whistleblowers that they are of the Khazarian Empire, okay, who are Edomites, okay? So, like it says in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 16, there is no end to all the people. Okay, let's go get that one. Okay, hold on. Let's get that one. Okay, Ecclesiastes, where you at? Where you at? I just went past it, didn't I? Chapter 4, verse 16. Boom. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Right? They also that shall come after are Esau's seed, his brethren, and his neighbors. Right? His inheritance that the Most High promised, okay, in Malachi chapter 1, that would he cast to the dragons of the wilderness. Okay? And these are the same same people that are bitching, whining, and complaining. Okay? Ecclesiasticus chapter 41, verse 6. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. Right? And the sinners in this biblical context are Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And the inheritance is the benefits of white privilege and white supremacy, right? The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake, okay? All right? And that's basically shame is covering these devils, okay? Let's go get reproach. Definition. Reproach. Address someone in such a way as to express disapproval or disappointment. Show more. Okay? Rebuke, reprove, scold, chide, reprimand, admonish, chastise, upbraid. To pull up. How the secret things of Esau sought out. Right? Lecture. To criticize. Censure. Okay? Slap someone's wrist. To tick off. Right? Call down. This is what they're doing. To accuse someone of. See? Where was we at? Okay. Damn, I forgot which book I was in. Just that quick. That's crazy. But anyway, like I said before, let's go over here to Revelation, and then I'm going to just close out. Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them, who? The Israelites, of wickedness, like Captain Kirk of the Starship Turning Point did and based his entire career of demonizing people and indigenous populations and minorities. That's how he made his talking points. Now, so-called white America, white nationalists, and white Christendom, they want you to stop talking about him. He was a righteous man. Ain't that a bitch? So I can't say anything. I don't know nothing about this Charlie Kirk, but I've seen his videos, and that's completely opposite of righteousness, if you ask me. Okay? That's not what they teach in church. Okay? Anyway, I don't even go to church. Fuck church. I left church years ago because of the hypocrisy that was in it. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Right? Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth he hath but a short period of time. He's finished. He knows it. It's just a matter of time. Okay? So, man. Let's go back to what this guy was saying.
They were Khazarian Empire, that he came in there to take over.
Hold on.
Talked about how that Israel was going to do this, and I'm going to actually get his name for you. I'm trying to pull that up real quick here from the history there where I was watching this or listening to this yesterday. It's worth listening to. It's disturbing, though. It's very disturbing to think of that. That we're being so duped down, and Benjamin Friedman, it was his name, and you should look up that interview that he did years ago, because he's spot on to the dot, going to World War I, World War II, and he said World War III would be preceded by Israel totally ousting everyone from the Middle East there. They would throw all the Palestinians out of their homeland, and how that they were Khazarian Empire, that he came in there to take over.
Okay. Now, doesn't it say something about that also before I close out? Okay. In Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 49, I think it is. 45. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the hand of the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard amongst the nations. Okay? The earth will shake with the shout, Babylon has been taken, and its cry of despair will be heard around the world. The least of the flock. Who is the least of the flock? The least of these Edomite Caucasians, right? That hold all the power. The Israeli lobbyists, AIPAC, that run the United States government. These individuals are going to draw America into World War III in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. It says the same thing in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, or Salakia. Where's that? Anyway, like I said before, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered amongst the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, right? Transatlantic slave trade, remember? Okay. And have given a boy for an harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Let's go to plead in the biblical context. Okay, and then I'm going to close out. I keep saying I'm going to close out, but okay. We'll plead. Shaphat. Sharfat.
Strong's H8199. Shaphat. Shaphat.
Right? To judge, to govern, to vindicate, to punish. Okay? To execute judgment. To rule, to govern, to judge, to condemn and punishing, to be judged, to plead. Right? Judge, plead, avenge, condemn, execute, to defend, to deliver, to pronounce sentence for or against, by implication to vindicate or punish, by extension to govern passively, to litigate, okay, to avenge, right, to contend, to defend, to execute judgment. Okay, that's what it means for the Most High, to plead with them there for my people. Okay, that's what it means. And the reason why, because you cast lots for his people and given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that you might get drunk. So the Most High's got a beef with all of you heathen nations. All of them, right? So anyway, all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rahabakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing 100% truth who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.